Will removing hawkers really lead to development or will it further weaken the GDP? Today I am going to discuss on these topics. Hello, Namaskar, Salam. I am Mostafijur Rahaman, a political strategist. This video is for uh, everyone who wants to contribute to see the progress of society and see India emerge as a developed nation. And I am starting a new series on hawkers where we will discuss this issue in details and depth. The role of hawkers, their contributions to the economy, their challenges, possibility for rehabilitations, and policy solutions will be all covered in this series. Okay, your opinions and questions will also be an important part of these discussions. Stay connected. Today we will discuss and an issue that may appear to be administrative decisions related to city beautifications or traffic management. Behind it lies the livelihood crisis of millions of people. We need to understand these things, okay? The ongoing effort to remove hawkers from roads across West Bengal, every districts, risings and important questions that what is the real economic impact of such actions? As a developing nations, can we realistically eliminate hawkers from our street in this stage? Our nation is a developing nation or developing economy. Let us analyze this issue not through emotions but through fact, data, and economics. Okay, those who believe that hawkers only create traffic and fail to understanding the real structure of the economy. So India include West Bengal is still a developing economy, and the backbones of such economics is the informal sector. Approximate 45% to 50% of Indians' GDP comes from the informal sector. We need to understand these things. Small roadside vendors, then hawkers and micro business owners, that form a crucial part of these economic foundations. We need to understand these things. Okay, nearly 82% to 90% of Indians workforce earned a livelihood through this informal sector. If hawkers are removed overnight without creating alternative employment opportunity, the flow of the flow of cash is local market will decline, purchasing powers will decrease, and GDP growth could face direct negative pressure. We need to understand these things. Okay, some may ask, might be asked, they that some people's may ask that developed countries do not have hawkers occupying public roads. People often say like that type of things. Why should we keep that type of hawkers in our roadside? Okay, so this is where a major misconceptions exist. Okay, developed countries did not become a moderns by simply removing hawkers. They first ensured widespread education, formal employments opportunity and alternative sources of income before transforming their informal sector. Only when society become fully educated, formal employment opportunities are available for all, everywhere, okay, every sector, and per capita GDP reached levels comparatively to developed countries. Can the that informal sector systems be transformed without causing major economic disruptions? Then we could shift. Otherwise, can't. Successful examples from the developed world, that Singapore hawkers models. Now I'm giving you one example from that, from Singapore. During this 1950s and 1960s, Singapore situations was very similar to that a present day Kolkata and many Indian cities. Thousands of hawkers sold food and goods on the streets, creating traffic congestions and sanitation challenges. However, the Singapore government did not simply evict them, because the 1970s and 1980s, as the country's economy grow stronger, the government systematically stabilized permanent hawker center on that time, okay, in the Singapore. They create this center provides affordable rental space, water supply, electricity, clear sanitation facility. Street hawkers were gradually rehabilitated into this organized space. So today, Singapore hawkers culture is one of the country's greatest culture assets and has even received recognized from the UNESCO as an important heritage traditions. Okay, keep these things in your mind. So how these hawkers become a heritage, heritage traditions, So the impact of immediate evictions on ordinary families, without adequate income levels and alternative employment opportunity, and aggressive evictions driven can create a serious social and economic consequences. Okay, the real life example. Now I give you one real life example. What would happens in any family of hawkers? Those are doing business in the roadside areas. Imagine a hawkers who earn 500 to 700 rupees per day by selling clothes or food on the sidewalk. Okay, on the sidewalks, that why they are selling on the sidewalk, because all traffic peoples are jump into that side, that business are running from the traffic areas, means like where peoples are gathering. That's the reason why people, hawkers are sitting there. Okay, that's modest, that modest income supports. If I saying that a family of 4 children and educations, medicines of elderly parents, if that individuals is removed from the street without any alternative livelihood, the entire family could fall below the poverty line almost overnight. Okay, so the children's education may stop, frustrations, social unrest, and even crime may increase on every cities and every areas. Then the impact does not stop them. So middle class consumers who rely on hawkers for affordable goods will face higher, that expenses. When hawkers lose incomes, wholesaler, supplier, transports workers, the transport workers and local producers also suffer financial losses. Each and every peoples are those are chains are connecting each other. Peoples are suffering financial losses. So, as a political strategist, I'm not advocate administrative disorder. Instead, I support a human and practical policy mandate. So regulations, first I want to give some suggestions. Regulations, not evictions, rather than removing hawkers, completely designate hawker zones, and the street market models should be created that allow business operations without disruptions traffic. Okay, second would be licensing and identifications. Every legitimate hawker should be provide with a digital identity cards and proper license. So this would be that bringing business under the regulations, increase government revenue through fees and taxes, provide legal protections to hawker also. So these things keep in mind. Third, I want to give some suggestions to the government, that fixed operations hour on highly congested road, that hawkers could be allowed to the operate during specific time period. For example, if I say that from 4 p.m. or weekend and public holiday, this would helping balance both traffic and management and economic activity. That areas governance, that could discuss with local people, and they could create these rules and regulation. It would be very important, that if I were to summarize these discussions, that in one sentence, it would be the economic exist for peoples. City can achieve sustainable development or lasting beauties, um, depriving peoples of their livelihood. Let us raise our voice to support of constructive and human alternative, that until the government provide a written and practical rehabilitations blueprint for every effective hawkers. Such large scale evictions events should be reconsidered. What is your opinions? Please share your thoughts in the comment, and help spread awareness about this important economy reality. Okay, so thank you very much to listen my all these analysis. Okay, thank you very much. Namaskar.